All right. So, I got a condensed version of yesterday. So I did my little podcast yesterday about my take on this whole mask wearing thing that's has got us so separated and divided with our beliefs, man. So I had one yesterday, and it was a good one too, like an hour long, man, and it's the craziest thing. It makes no sense to me. Like when I'm speaking, my voice is blocked out. But when I'm not speaking, all the sound comes rushing right back. So it's like you hear like this, because every time that no sound comes out, all the sound is there. But when I speak, you can't hear. So I got a mic on my phone now. The miracle of modern technology. It's just at the same time, just from the phone, and it's got a mic built in. Why was the darkness able to cease me to get my message out? But then I, you know, spend money for the extra mic, the higher quality mic, and I'm good to go. I don't know. I know the darkness will try to stop and snuff out your light any way that it can. And luckily, though, God always prevails. And so today, I just want to touch a little bit. Okay, so I'll just simplify it down. Okay, this whole mask thing, like it's the whole like should or should not wear it is irrelevant because I really feel like the pride in man to think that like because okay we if you have any kind of spiritual depth to yourself at all, okay, then you have a basic or a common understanding that we are eternal beings, that we are not here by accident, we're here on purpose, we're here by design. Therefore, we chose to came here. We signed up for what happens here. We are not going. If we are going to get sick, nothing's going to stop you from getting it. Okay, if you're not meant to die from it, you're not going to die from it. If you're meant to die from it, okay, then the whole word die. That's a word that needs to be eradicated from speech because there really is no death. Nothing dies. It only changes form, changes reality. Okay, we are eternal beings. Okay, we go from this existence to another existence, right? Okay, and now, but to have that much faith and to where you're at peace with things, now I can't do that. I can't do that for nobody. That takes this. You got to do your own inner work there. Maybe it's all about what you believe, right? But okay, so now this whole they've got this. It's again not by design. It's not by accident, all by design. They want to separate and divide us. Is what they want. Okay, they want us hung up on should you wear a mask? Should you not wear a mask? Like I think that if I think that a mask can stop me from getting this flu virus? If I'm meant to get this flu virus, well, like I don't think nothing can go against God. I mean, that's just me though. Maybe you might think differently, but I know nothing can go against God, and what is ordained to happen is going to happen, and nothing's going to stop that from happening. So if I think this weaselly, puny little mask, it's not even meant to stop somebody from getting the flu or prevent somebody, from spreading it or whatever. Like it's just so like I put my faith and trust in God and God alone. But that's me. That's where I'm at. Okay. Now, to make someone else feel comfortable, if it's so hard for me, if I gotta be that right, do I gotta be that prideful in my own self, in my own beliefs, that I'm going to sit here and rob you of your, I'm not gonna be that selfish to rob you of your security because of where you're at. Maybe you don't think like I think. Maybe you don't believe like I believe. It maybe makes you really uncomfortable because I'm not wearing a mask. Like so therefore, do I believe that the mask is gonna help me from not getting it or you from not getting it? No, but do I wear the mask because hey, how about we just love each other and get along? How about it ain't nobody okay, it's like our government. Our government is the enemy, guys. Like they're not our friends. The Democrats, man, like they fool you with how they tell you that they care and love you. Like I don't mean to bring politics up in it, and this may ruffle some feathers, but it's just, man, if you could just see that all politics is it's all bad. It's neither one, like even Republican and stuff. They want to keep jobs here in America. Their values are awesome, but at the same time, though, they still are harmful and damaging. A lot of the jobs that we want to keep here, at the same time, are not. They hurt our planet. They hurt Mother Earth. Like we really need to get back to our roots. We need to govern ourselves. Really, like the people in power do not need to be empowered. Like that, they don't know what's best for us. They know what's best for them and their pockets, and that's it. And that's all that they know what's best for. And it's just that simple, man. Like it's okay to let people be where they're at. So it's so hard for you if you think that hey, this mask ain't doing a damn thing, like, but if it makes someone else, feel just a little bit more comfortable, like that's your brother or sister somewhere down the road, like somewhere in plot history, you're related to that soul. Like we live multiple lives. To think we only live one life is crazy. Like when you come to and you find out all the past life regressions that have been done, and how people sit there and literally talk about a person that there is record of being, and they know details about this person's life and events that actually happened and transpired. That there's no way that they know this, and they know this and speak this under deep hypnosis, like, and nothing is suggested. There's no thought that sister has this person suggested to go to another life. Nothing like that is even. They just say, go back to this time. Okay, so if there was no time before you were born, you couldn't go back to it. You would hit a wall, okay? Just because you're suggested, what I'm saying? Like, is it, and also they start talking about, it's just, it's crazy. It's just, okay, so there's all kinds of proof out there that we live many lives, okay, and that it's lined up with God, like we are eternal beings, that's why there's old souls. You got old souls, and you got souls that you can tell haven't lived that many lives, and then you got other souls that, man, like they've been around the block a few times, and you can just tell, and it's really it's quite a beautiful thing. You gotta read, you gotta seek out your knowledge, man. Like there's so much vast awareness and understanding and depth to who we are as a species and a being and a soul that is here available to you right now on this planet to go out there and research and learn for yourself. Just get out there and find it. It's so free and liberating, and the peace that you can be found in this. You can let go of the ego mind, of all of our false identity. Seeing ourselves through anyone's eye other than your divine eye. Like it's you start understanding the issues and the problems and why you did the things that you did, why there's the issues that there are now going on, and then a subtle attempt, if even how to attempt to go at the problem and to help fix it. And a lot of it is rooted in awareness in the present moment. So much of it is. And it's just, but you have to know what to be aware of. But okay, but so that's my condensed version. I did a lot longer one yesterday. But in the darkness, it did what it could. Yeah, but not today, Satan. Not today. But okay, so. But we do got Jesus today, and that's what I'm reading right now. So. Hope for what you. Okay, so that's what I read yesterday. So. Yeah, I could do it over again, but I gotta go day by day, and then hopefully today's message will be just as good as yesterday's, and I'm sure it will. It usually always is. Don't be afraid to be happy because you are mine. You can expect to experience some happiness even in this broken world. Yet anxiety sometimes intrudes upon your carefree moments. You start wondering if there are things you should be doing or plans you should be making. Your underlying feeling is that it isn't safe to let down your guard and simply be happy in the moment. How wrong this is, my child. I have called you to cease striving, let go and relax, and know that I am God. You may think that you need to have all your ducks in a row before you can relax and enjoy my presence, but consider the overall context of this command. Though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, the psalmist who penned these words was described a terrifying catastrophe. So you don't need to wait till you've solved all the problems in your life. This very moment is the right time to enjoy me. Come boldly into my presence, saying, Jesus, I choose to enjoy you here and now. Happy are the people whose God is the Lord. Psalm 144:15. Cease striving and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Psalm 46:10. God is our refuge and strength, and an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. Psalm 46:1-3. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yesterday's one was, I feel like, a little bit better, but hey, it's okay. These other ones still got a chance to really hit, but that's still good though. That's still lined up. That was still needed today. Like who am I to say that that was just for me. Like yeah, I need to shut up. Okay. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessings of the Lord your God, which he has given you. Deuteronomy 16:17. The first time I tithed, I was a junior in college. I'd worked all summer teaching tennis lessons and made what I considered a lot of money back then. They heard a message on giving, and I thought, okay, I'm doing this, and I'm doing it with the right attitude. This is going to be an act of worship. And I wrote out what seemed like the biggest check in the world. I remember putting it in the offering plate with this thrilling sense of what I was putting my money where my mouth was. I was trusting God with everything, my heart, my mind, my time, and my money. And as you've learned by now, for someone as frugal as I was, that was no small thing. The same day, my grandmother called me and said, Craig, God put something on my heart. I'm so excited that you're now a follower of Jesus, and I want to buy you a car. I was speechless. This was my grandmother.
Do we have...
Huh? I'm doing my things right now.
Do we have to leave at 10:15?
Yep. I was speechless. This was my grandmother who was raised during the Depression. We never saw her spend any money, and I even wondered if she lived on air. And she bought me a car. Not just any car, a biblical car, a Honda Accord, because all the disciples gathered in one accord. My grandmother's surprise gift made a huge impact on me. She modeled incredible stewardship, but also knew how to listen to God and give generously. Today, talk to God about what He wants you to give to Him and to others. Power lift. Father, I'm so grateful for the many ways you provide for me. Today, use me to provide your blessing for someone in need. That's a good one. It's a really good one. And I remember that one from last year, though, now. It's been a whole year. And I had this thing now. Wow. Ain't that neat. Not by might nor by power. My speech and my preaching were not with pervasive words of human wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power. 1 Corinthians 2:4. If in preaching the gospel you substitute your knowledge of the way of salvation for confidence in the power of the gospel, you hinder people from getting to reality. Take care to see while you proclaim your knowledge of the way of salvation that you yourself are rooted and grounded by faith in God. Never rely on the clearness of your presentation, but as you give your explanation, make sure that you are relying on the Holy Spirit. Rely on the certainty of God's redemptive power, and He will create His own life in people. Once you are rooted in reality, nothing can shake you. If your faith is in experiences, anything that happens is likely to upset that faith, but nothing can ever change God or the reality of redemption. Base your faith on that, and you are internally secure as God Himself. Once you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, you will never be moved again. That is the meaning of sanctification. God disapproves of our human efforts to cling to the concept that sanctification is merely an experience, while forgetting that even our sanctification must also be sanctified. See John 17:19. I must deliberately give my sanctified life to God for His service, so that He can use me as His hands and His feet. There's lots of truth there, lots of truth there in that, but like the universe, which that's God. God, He is it's conscious awareness. Consciousness being conscious of itself. That's God, It's the knowing in the background of your knowingness. He's right here. He's right here. And he's right there in you, and he's right there in that tree, and she's right there in that bush, and they're right there in the air around me. Like he and them and all the same, one the same, and they're all right here, and as within, so without, as above, so below. You know. And it's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. And so when you get in line with this, and that you don't base your happiness and your state of being on the events that are taking place in your life, more and more so, you see it as an opportunity for growth, transformation, and to be of service and a blessing to others. In what way can you be used to better and make this situation better for yourself and for those around you? Like if you can the hardwire into your brain just to constantly think that way, how much in line with God and a blessing you will be to others is amazing. And how much more useful would you feel like your life would be? For me, I'm starting to learn, that I get mixed up, and as the Bible talks about, we're not a human doing, we are a human being, okay, and that's, if you're able to just be in this present moment and just be happy and just love on your life, love life, be grateful, thankful, and loving, and just happy, and just that joy, that peace, that unsurmountable peace and joy, that's talked about. If you've attained that, and I'm sure people can attain that and be like, I don't know how I got here. I don't know, but I just know that somewhere down the road, the work I've done inside of myself, the work that I have done. No one, but God was leading the way all the way. If it wasn't for Him, if it wasn't for God, I would have never had this. No, but I had to do the work, and that's where Jesus came to teach us that we save ourselves, man, and that is the most solid truth, the thing that I can understand and grasp more than anything else that the Bible tries to say is a lie from hell that I just can't get with. And I read these devotions and stuff, that is that is Christian devotions, right? And my belief is not all the way. It's not. I'm a Gnostic Christian. I'm just gonna get to out front. I don't believe it in necessarily all the ways that a regular Christian believes. I'm more deeply rooted in I feel like more in line with what Jesus came to really, give us, when you come here, so they killed him, and then what they tried to do, they wiped out who the Gnostics, the Essenes, that those were his people, okay? That's the kind of Christian he was, okay? And that has been suppressed, and that's who the Catholic Church was murdering and going after and killing and calling witches and stuff, bearers of light, bringers of light, Satan's, so to say, and they kill them, when they're not Satans, they're just simply that, beings of love and light, that just had a greater wisdom, greater understanding, more in line with nature and Mother Earth than these people that are so masculine and block off things of themselves that they can, their short-sightedness and their unawareness and their ignorance, and so they can't understand anything other than what they know. And since these people know more, have a deeper understanding, and can do more things, it scares them, freaks them out. They get fearful, and they attack and murder. It's very sad, very, very sad history, very sad history. But hey, we're in a enlightened age, we're in the apocalypse, the great revealing of truth, truths hidden, and it's a beautiful time, beautiful time to be a human being, and yeah. So, but all right, let's see, read this last one here, and then we'll call it an afternoon here. Okay, proud weakness, humble strength. The Lord tears down the proud man's house, but he keeps the widow's boundaries intact. Proverbs 15:25. In a word, the self-improvement section is almost always the hottest corner of the bookstore. Why? Because it is human nature to build ourselves up. We want more security, more education, better skills, more income, stable mental health, stronger relationships, deeper passions, more adventure, and a higher standard of living. And God has even put those basic impulses into our hearts. Whoa, 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 whoa. All that right there basically described all the hidden in desires of the ego mind. And that was not been placed there by God. No, no. See, now you're getting your identity wrapped up in your thinking and your desires. That's not, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't identify with that, guys. We identify with God and God alone. So, sorry. And when you can get there and understand this, then, like, hey, kudos to you, man. Like, because whoa, that's so awesome that when you could come to an understanding, and then you could read something that someone's trying to knowledge you on, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, when you really understand Jesus' teachings, and you really come into a greater awareness and understanding, then you can't be taught, you're doing the teaching, it's pretty cool. It's what's up. It's what's up. I'm very blessed, very grateful, and people don't understand, but it's okay, we're at where we're at, and you're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. Everyone's doing a great job, and there's no condemnation, no judgment from God at all. None of thatness at all. That basically is the whole premise of the Christian church. If you don't believe like we believe, if you don't believe He died for your sins, and you're sending eternity and suffering, because that's our God that we serve and love, because that's our parents. Oh, that sounds like a little bit like a Satan to me. Sorry, but that's a human, petty, emotional God right there. To me, that's what that sounds like to me. So I serve a God that you cannot contain in a box. You cannot put words on and put form to, and He cannot. Like, the God that I serve is love and light, and that's just an attempt at me trying to talk about His goodness whenever it's so much more than that, and that I couldn't even begin to describe to you, just the awesomeness and wonderfulness, and how amazing and great, and the beauty of life that we have been so misled to believe and interpreted as caused our agony and suffering and fearfulness, that and it's our own egoic mind that done this to us. If we got to take ownership, we got to take accountability. We have been the problem, we've been part of the problem, but we are also the solution, and we are part of the solution. Okay, we're both of them, and which one are you going to walk more in? Are you going to continue walking in the problem, or are you going to start living for the solution? But okay. We might be surprised then to find out that God always opposes our most natural strategy for growth. We're into self-improvement with an emphasis on the self. We want to be stronger, better, smarter, and richer ourselves, and we always try to attain our status with personal strategies and hard work. Does God oppose strategy and work? Hardly. He just hates the pride that those things foster. There is a remarkable contrast in this proverb. The proud man has a house. It's likely gorgeous, or at least very sturdy. The walls are thick, the decor is stylish, and the construction is solid. How do we know? Because he is proud. Proud people don't settle for second best. The widow, on the other hand, may not have much of a house. She may not have walls around her property. There's no security system, no guards, nothing to stop anyone from taking what little she has. The proud man is insulated, but the widow is completely vulnerable. He is the epitome of strength, and she is the epitome of weakness. So which one is more secure? According to the proverb, she is. The proud man's thick walls will be torn down by God Himself. The widow's naked boundaries will be guarded by God Himself. Yes, God chooses sides. Indeed, why, when we're guaranteed such divine strength in our vulnerability, do we almost always opt for more of our own strength? Are we just too proud to be dependent? We can either have our self-sufficiency or God's sufficiency. Having both is not an option. This is not a difficult question. Which would you prefer? Okay, so I see what you're getting at here, though, and so I gotta say, though, like we are God's children, and He wants nothing but the best for us, and to know that we are eternal, divine beings of love and light, And when you know this, and you know your worth and your authority, and the power that you actually possess and can walk in, and you can manifest yourself, do yourself, that God has not come here to do for you. He came here to show you the way. You came here to be taught the way so you can do it, manifest it yourself. You know, like this whole thing that someone's going to do it for you, that you need God to do this and do that, and, you know, be in weakness, because, you know, like, that sounds almost like a Democrat to me. Like, I'm sorry, but it just does, man. And, I'm sorry, but, okay. That's a good one today. Very, very good. Just want to send you my love and my light. I hope this message reaches y'all well. Dear Father, I just want to thank you, Lord, just for all the things you're teaching to me and showing me, and I just pray that these words reach people's hearts today, Lord, and that people see the wisdom, and anyone right now that's suffering, going through a hard time, Lord, that needs you to just show up and shout for them, Lord. I just pray that you do in every way possible, and just blow the wildness off the hinges of the doors for them, Lord. In Jesus Christ's holy name I pray. Amen.